How very weird. I feel like a bunch of evil overlords trying to manipulate the high school romance. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Escaflowne. We're here at episode 19. I think there's, 26 episodes of, I was gonna say this season. It's a one-season show. One season in a movie. So we're getting pretty close to the end here. We have a board. We have notes. I say let's go ahead and hop into the board real quick. And the board changelog, again, pretty thin. Connected Dornkirk to Leon with a red line. I think I forgot to do that before. In this instance, I think that's the only thing that's really changed. Obviously, Dornkirk as Isaac had a fairly good connection with Leon early on. They're like shared interests. I think the element that the Zybox soldiers killed Leon on Dornkirk's orders to get the information about the location of the Mystic Valley kind of denotes a hostility. I think when you kill somebody, you're basically hostile to them. So, yeah, I put that in. Otherwise, no real new connections here. We didn't get introduced to any new characters or anything. So I think that brings us up to notes. Today's card, Il Monde, or The World. Again, I have no real context to any of this, so I guess I'm just adding it into the notes in case it ever does make sense. I did the whole reading thing, like around, what was it, episode, I want to say 17, that doesn't seem right. 15? 14? Where I took every card and I told like an AI to do a reading of the very specific type and see if it came up with anything. Like, granted, I don't know if AIs are good at tarot card readings or not, but it's my best guess. Like, I'm no good at tarot card readings. So, have a full connection. Although I don't think they used 26 cards. And what was it? The Nordic Cross? Was that the pattern that she was using? At the same time, we would only have, if she did, say for the basis of argument that she did use 26 cards in the tarot setup that she was using. By episode 26, when we had all the cards, we would have watched the entire show. We wouldn't need the tarot reading anymore. I don't know if that's like a meta narrative towards tarot reading, but by the time you get there, you no longer need it. It's kind of a good message, I suppose. Anyway, rest of the notes. I guess Vare wanted Vaughn to meet Dornkirk. It seems like that was the direct result of her passing on the Energist to him, and not for nothing. It seems like she's the type of otherworldly knowing character. After all, she knew it was her destiny to meet and fall in love with Gao, exactly in the time and place where she did. I wouldn't disbelieve hearing that she knew what her son would have to do one day. It just seems in the ballpark of that character archetype. I wonder now, clearly well too late, if I should have been taking note of which letters in each title card had been highlighted. Like, if they were spelling out something this whole time. And I should also then mention the future note. I wasted my time doing that. I got like 5 episodes in, and it didn't make any sense. So no, that wasn't a thing. And you know what? Thinking about it now, I think I thought this before, and I did it then too. I think I've done this 2 times now, and it hasn't made sense both times. So, spitballing here, Dornkirk's transportation seems to be 5 stories tall, judging by the hall he wheels himself through, and the tallest it could be, which is to say that room is 7 stories tall. The top of his transport at the tallest could only be at the second to highest level of the room, as the top floor has a different balcony edge to the one we see him against. At the smallest, I'd say 3 stories. I only mention it as the visible size of the prognostication engine is over 13 times larger than he is, making it anywhere from 166 to 277 meters tall. at least the parts of it that we can see, because obviously some of it goes above the screen, some of it is sort of like in a rounded pit below the screen. So it is massive, is all I'm saying. Like aircraft carrier standing on its, bit tall. I have to assume that when Dornkirk says that he was on death's door, he meant that he was getting old and didn't have much time left. As per my observation, that he was just fine after he was transported to Gaia. If he was ill or dying to something in particular, it didn't show. So this is the only way I can think to reconcile that. So the the prognostication engine is just a man-made version of the Atlantean device, except with the obvious caveat that it doesn't really work. The dragon keeps getting in the way, as we know, and this time when he used it, it brought Hitomi and Vaughn to him, with Alan added in because he rushed into the beam. Not what I'd call the same great power that the Atlanteans had, who created an entire planet filled with life. I imagine it's going to be a power issue, which is why they are unlocking those glowing points across the planet. I know he says he needed the Escaflowne, but if the machine really was following your will, then why Vaughn and Hitomi? Maybe the argument that Vaughn and the Escaflowne are one, but then why Hitomi? I mean, I can't really argue with Dornkirk. That's the utilitarian argument right there. The greater happiness takes precedent. There is a great story about this very subject called The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelis, where everyone that lives in this place called Omelis essentially live in paradise, because all the suffering that they would experience is shoved onto a single child that is made to suffer forever. I heard it called the horror of Utopia. For a more anime example, you could probably look at season 2 of Made in Abyss as a similar thing. Is the Atlantean machine going to be the moon itself? That's my best guess for Hitomi's vision. I know Van suggests it's going to be Gaia, but it so clearly looks like the moon. And it feels like it would fit thematically to have the Atlantean machine be something so big and obvious. My last note here. I feel like it's relatively easy for Hitomi to just wander in and question if the people of Zybok are really happy. We just got a flashback of how they suffered and were oppressed. I'd be hard-pressed to think we'd be getting a scene of we were actually happier back then, when Zybok essentially rules the world right now. I mean, maybe if they push the Sorcerer's Fate alteration thing to suggest that the population is essentially being mutilated and tortured for the sake of all this, then yeah, maybe then. But that's my meta-knowledge as a viewer. Hitomi doesn't have that as a character inside the show. Anyway, those are my thoughts going into the episode. I say let's go ahead and hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I legit cannot remember what was in the next time on for this. I think we were seeing something about Earth again. Because I know I keep bringing up the fact that Hitomi really should wind up with what's-his-name from Earth. Even though, I didn't make a note about this, even though I very much recognize that Alan reaches out to Hitomi. It's like, I will sacrifice everything to make sure that you're safe. Even as the girl who's falling in love with Drayden is reaching out to Alan, being like, please don't leave me. But at the end of the day, no one has contradicted my board point about the fact that Alan is essentially older than Hitomi's dad. And that he's generations removed from her. Maybe not generations, at least a generation. I want to say generations removed. And it just doesn't seem like the normal pairing for a show like this. I am putting out there, as I did before, I'm not standing opposed to it. It just feels like Vaughn is more on her normal level. And, Amino, back on Earth, still holding out for her. This is episode 19, right? I guess we're skipping ahead a little bit. Or a vision.
フォルケン、貴様このこと知っていたのか？竜が我々財閥派帝国の悲願、ガイア界統一の最大の障害になるであろうことを知っていたのか？ドルンカーク様の運命の機会がこう言っておる。
Is that an army of rares? Rares. You got it in my head now. Escaflownes? Escaflownes? But where did all the extra ones come from?
竜と幻の月の少女の引力が高まると、我らの未来が混沌としていくばかり。このような未来が現実のものとならぬよう。
I mean, as expensive as this thing was to repair, I have to assume that those guys aren't just like selling these things by the dozen.
引き離すだけではなりませんぞ、閣下。さよ、我々の戦力をもってすれば、エスカフローネを叩き潰すことなど造作もないこと。閣下、今すぐ出陣の命を。その必要はありません。ことを荒立てずとも、幻の月の少女に少々別の引力を作用させれば良いだけのこと。
Which is...
別の引力とな。はい。男と女の引き合う力。名付けて。
Lust? Love? Okay, love is in the name. I was gonna say, I don't know what Pazzo means. So, in order to separate Vaughn from Hitomi, we're gonna play some high school drama. Where I guess Alan is no longer a wanted criminal. You might not remember, but word is that from Astoria that Alan was a wanted criminal wanting to assert the crown or something like that? Or was that a lie that the doppelganger came up with?
俺の良さが彼女にも分かったってやつよ。おかしいかい？
Or I guess Alan ran away from her one too many times.
アストリアの国力と俺の財力があれば、財閥派も手は出せねえ。戦はな、力だけじゃないんだよ。
It says Lock-On from Apothecary Diaries.
奴らの目的はガイア界の破滅だ。あんたがアストリアの王になったところで
言ってくれるね。
もともと二人は言い名付け同士。ドライデンがアストリア王家を継ぐのは自然な流れです。
Oh, was this the episode I was talking about her ears and the cat girls?
今までのあなた方の罪をすべて水に流すためには。
Okay, they addressed it.
国に対する反逆。あなたたちが我が国との同盟国財閥派に立てついた罪。そんな。しかもミラーナが国を出てしまってから、お父様は心労で病の床に。
Not gonna lie.
あなたたちがミラー
Best
ナを
girl.
連れて
Best girl in my opinion so far. He only speaks the truth.
エリーズさん
Very objective, very logical.
おしゃべりはそのくらいになさったらミラーナ
Her eyes aren't like 2 times bigger than everyone else's eyes.
ご成婚おめでとうございますミラーナ姫
どうかしらこのドレスそれとも瞳にはもっとフリルのついたものが似合うかしらいえドレスのことじゃなくて
I mean, this relationship has at least moved on a little bit from the you're kind of a nobody, Hitomi.
いいじゃないお金持ちで頭が良くてそれにハンサムできっとドライデンは私のことを幸せにしてくれるわ
I mean, none of it not true.
嘘
It's not a lie.
自分の気持ちをごまかして結婚だなんてそんなのドライデンさんだってかわいそうじゃない
I mean, technically, your older sister did it, right? She fell in love with the guy she married, had a kid with Alan. You do that same thing. Have a kid with Alan. Fall in love with Dryden.
ドライデンさんとミラーナさんが結婚すればアレンさんは何言ってんだろう私
A criminal still, I guess, is the implication.
ごめんなさいねえ占ってくれない私の未来未来わからなくなっちゃったのこれでいいのかなって
Not really sure where Hitomi flipped on the I'm no longer giving tarot readings thing either.
ミラーナさんだから占ってほしいの私の未来よ今私そのタロット持ってないから後でね
Oh, I guess maybe she hasn't flipped. I thought... Yeah, no, she's using her powers all the time.
私こんな嫌なやつだったんだ結婚するミラーナさんを見てほっとする自分がいて諦めないでなんて歯の浮くようなこと言って
I mean, is it giving up, though?
陸の果てに逃げ出すなんて最低
Drayden's a bit of a eccentric, but he's not like the worst
どう
choice.
したんだ
バーン
運命レベル上昇
テルマ移動ノルテに積算
カオス化臨界まであと500
Delandu getting operated on? No.
このままでは竜と幻の月の少女を接近してしまう
Is the plan to throw Alan in her way?
一戦とな
How very weird. I feel like a bunch of evil overlords trying to manipulate the high school romance.
バカみたいあん酸っぱい何これ
ピスカスだ元気出るだろ
Don't know, I want to eat a fruit called piss.
不安げな顔してると本当に悪いことに引き寄せられてしまうぞ
え
落ち込んだ顔なんてお前らしくない
I mean, she's been depressed before. In front of you. Yelled at you and ran away from you.
こいつ慰めてくれてるんだ
瞳
He's blushing.
これからずっと俺のそばにいてほしい
Merle.
上昇。
運命予測限界。カオス止まりません。
Yeah, I didn't feel like Falcon's plans are coming to much. Not that they had any time to do anything with them, right? Also, conceivably, some of you guys to think about this. If Vaughn feels everything that the Escaflowne feels, then what does him doing this to his sword do for Vaughn? Sorry, I apologize.
ずっとお前にそばにいてほしい。お前が欲しい。お前の。
Oh, go the wrong way. Set up with the crystal or your visions.
力が欲しい。
Yep, there we go. Wrong way.
お、レベルが下がっていく。一緒にザイバッハを倒しに行こう。奴らに勝つためには、お前の。
He crossed the line. He just crossed the wrong line.
エスカフローネだってもっとすごい能力を引き出せるかもしれない。だから俺に力を貸してくれ。頼む。
No, I thought we were going to hear a slapping sound. If we did, it was too low for me to hear. No. Happened either way.
運命の密度レベル昇降状態に。
危ないところであった。ホルケン、作戦はどうなっておる？
はい、準備は整っております。
It very much reminds me of that one anime a couple seasons ago where a bunch of people are looking in on like a VR world and is like, you know, given like their own diatribes of what's going on, what should happen. Okay, it's very clearly jewelry. It's not surrounding what would be a half caterpillar.
あなたがそういうのなら間違いない。ドライデンはいいやつだ。この結婚、もし王位だけが狙いならば、私は彼を切り捨てていました。
Probably. You're like the best swordsman, and he has no combat ability whatsoever.
これは母が好きだった花。確か花言葉は忘れ得ぬ人。
I mean, we know what happened to his mother. What happened to his sister is still kind of up in the air. She ran off and vanished. Can't wait for her to have been teleported to Earth and she's like Hitomi's best friend or something. Just needed some of her hair? How does this work?
そのためにはどちらかに私の相手を務めてもらいたい。
はい、フォルケン様、承知しております。ナリア、恨みっこなし。
Oh, I thought they were going to fight about it.
どちらの幸運が強いか、勝負。
How is there not a Visions of Escaflowne board game? By like, I mean tabletop. This feels like a setting that you could do something with. I mean, if you're not supposed to like wander around with like a golf club in the middle of a thunderstorm, probably not great to wander around with a sword.
はいフォルケン様いえアレンさん
それでよい。
起動10枚。
舞台も揃った。役者も揃った。今こそ心のベクトルを動かす時。運命改変。
運命改変。
運命改変運命改変
Was this like something that they were doing to Delandu? Like somebody back at base was like altering his fate?
人。
あれ
おお、回る回る、運命の輪が回る。そして始まる何もかも。
You know, he got curls in his hair. I mean, somebody has to crawl up like 5 stories
あれ
to clean his hair and, you know, everything.
運命素粒子加速。
Not a bad pairing, though.
やだな
Joseph Falcon and his entourage.
早く帰んなきゃ
I did just legitimately tell the artist the other day that I think Falcon would have been a better match for me than Delandu, only due to my archetypes that I usually pick in characters.
瞳を探してくる。
放っとけばいいのに風邪ひいちゃうんだから
Oh, I mean, clearly should have been struck by lightning, it seems like.
何やってんだろう私いつの間にかこんな生活に慣れちゃってこの世界の人好きになっちゃって私何やってんだろうこんなところで
I mean, if you had the power to go back, Earth, Domino. I keep mentioning Domino. And Alan looks like Amino, of course.
アレンさん
目標値到達。
さあ見せておくれ。互いに引き合う運命の力を。
I mean, Dornkirk was researching Destiny the whole time. You think you'd know this aspect of it.
人。
なぜだろう。君がそばにいると心が安らぐ。
Older than her dad.
先輩の匂いがする
What the hell does that say about Amino?
素粒子密度低下。
雑念を払うのだエリア。一心に思うのだ。私を思うのだ。
フォルケン様私には
苦しいだろうが思ってくれ。私のことを。
フォルケン様
I know, here's the thing, she's infatuated with Fulkin, right?
どうして。
Wouldn't Hitomi suddenly start feeling feelings for Fulkin? Because there's no way she can pretend that he is Alan.
私ミラーナさんの気持ち知ってるから
私には君しか見えない。瞳、君だけだ。
そんな
運命加速素粒子密度臨界素体結合。
人。
あれ
I mean, to be fair here, the man being the aggressor and this sorts of things does not mean anything for the relationship. Old man pervert over here staring at them.
素晴らしい。運命が動き出した。新たな運命が。
I legitimately have no idea how this can have any long-term consequence. not like people haven't kissed before and then, like, changed their mind. Legitimately what, Von? I want you for your power? You don't even need room to be upset now. You fumbled that hard. I think all you had to do was shut the fuck up, right? So I want you done. Let the scene play out, right? See what she says. The fact that you added for your power so we can destroy Zybok made it very clear that your intention was only in one direction. I don't know. If I'm the weird guy here, well, I mean, obviously, because I'm betting on the high school romance thing, but if I'm the weird guy here where I'm still, am I like the only one at this point of the show who's still on the Amino boat? I'd bring him up all the time. So I feel like at some point she's going to go back home, and these guys aren't going to want to leave. And I guess, granted, she might not want to leave either.
Escaflowne.
I guess people in this world aren't allowed to change their minds. A kiss is forever. But again, though, Dryden, not a bad pick. And not for nothing, this family kind of has a history of having sex with Alan and marrying somebody else and falling in love with them. Hell, who the fuck knows? Dryden might be fine with it, the same way what's his name was. I mean, he was fine with it, but he accepted what happened after the fact. Dryden might actually be fine with it. You know, Dryden might be having his own side affairs. This could all be political for all we know. Dryden's just like, cool, I'd be grateful if you, liked me. But not for nothing, like, the world, I would say the world doesn't revolve around Hitomi. It kind of does. The world does kind of revolve around Hitomi. But at the end of the day, who's to say Myrtle shouldn't wind up with whoever she's happiest with, right? Who's to say Dryden shouldn't? Malernia decided on one. Why does Hitomi have the right to just butt in and decide, no, you shouldn't be with him, even though you came to me earlier, asked me who I should wind up with, and then you said the other one? Literally just following Hitomi's advice. And I keep laughing at the element that Dornkirk and Fulkin and all of them are essentially trying to manipulate this high school romance sort of thing. But at the end of the day, how is that any different from what we're doing here? Like, we're not, influencing it, obviously. But Dornkirk, staring through the prognostication engine, seeing the romance of these people, no different than us watching the screen, seeing it happen the same way. Dornkirk's just doing it in more of an 1800s fashion. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to talk about other than the fact of the whole romance manipulation thing. But again, that was really what the whole episode was about. I guess also the element of which one of the cat girls decided that they were going to be able to kiss Fulkin with a flip of a coin. Like I said, I don't really have much to talk about here at the end. Maybe I'll notice more stuff in the rewatch. But here, it was just a funny little Van can't talk about his feelings without switching the subject. I guess Alan is eminently manipulatable, because I feel like, again, those were Fulkin's thoughts coming through, and not actually Alan's. Malerna's got a mind, or a head for politics, more so than her heart. I guess I'm just going to leave it there. I don't have much to talk about here. So, that said, once again, I've been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions. And we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?